So I'll be taking it one unit after the other, and I want us to just observe a simple rule of muting ourselves, except you have any contribution to make. And if you have any contribution to make, just raise up your electronic hand. I'll call upon you to make your contribution or to comment on any topic. And I also want us to just indicate anyone you don't understand for me to explain it to the best of my knowledge. So let's start from the definition of management and small business. So if I may ask, and anybody can anybody explain to me what do you mean by management from our elementary courses? I think some of us have gone through bus 105, bus 106, and it's all about management science that time. So I think we should be able to have a kind of an idea of what management is all about. So if someone can just give me an insight. Anyone? Someone is making noise. Okay. Sister Maimuna.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
I think from my own layman's view, I think it's about coordination and trying to like guide people, lead people. I don't know, coordinating people generally.
That is a good one.
Not necessarily only people, even business. The act of
okay, that is a good one.
Something or people. I think management has to do with it. And administration.
Okay, thank you.
Of management.
Okay, thank you for your contribution. Okay, Madam Rachel Salifu, let's hear you.
Yes, management can be defined of organizing or redirecting the of people and organization of the mean way of organizing your operation.
Sorry, your line, your network is breaking. We can't really hear you very well. But thank you anyway
okay,
for
can
all
you
the way
hear
for.
Me now?
Okay, you can try again. Let's see.
Okay, I see it's is a directing the work people in an operating.
Sorry for cutting you short. Your network is not clear. So thank you for your contribution anyway. So management, without further delay, management is all about a kind of just like some of us have said, organizing a kind of environment, people, whatever you can think about that can form an organization. So for you to lead them, for you to manage them, to make sure that you achieve your objective. So because there's the main purpose of organization is to achieve its primary objective. So which is we are made to know that is to making surplus or profits, as case may be. So for you now to achieve that your aim, you need to kind of form an organization, kind of organize people, whatever the material resources that are within your within your reach for you to be able to achieve that, that's your aim. So that is all about management. So, and small business, we all know what small business is all about. So small business is a kind of a business that is a kind of one man or small group of people involving to sell, service. So the different kind of business that you can think about that is a kind of a small business. It's not a large business. And we know when we talk about small business, we know the characteristics.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you see me?
Hello.
Come inside. Is grandpa
Please mute
there?
yourself. You are
Okay.
disturbing the class. So that is all about the small business. So let's not now go to the way it's defined in our material. So according to Weyrich and Kuntz, say that management as a process is designing and maintaining an environment in which individuals working together in groups efficiently accomplish selected aims. This is a basic definition which needs to be expanded in the following ways. So they are now telling us how those two scientists or management scientists look at the management. So they look at it in these various ways. So as a manager, people carry out some functions and they are employed to carry out the specific functions. These functions are commonly referred to as managerial functions. We shall be looking at this managerial function one after the other in subsequent units of this course. So the functions that are talking about are planning, organizing, staffing, leading, controlling, among others. So just like as we have been known that they are basic functions of management or of a manager. So they also look at it in the other angle as management applies to any kind of organization. So what they mean there is that management can be applied in anywhere, either service business, non-profit business, profit-making business, even in churches or in even in what they call it, a social club. Management take place there. So because we need to organize and make sure that everything runs smoothly. So that is why the same management apply to any kind of organization. So they now come again to say that management is important to any level in an organization. So what they mean there is that the management can be applied in any level of organization, like from the top management level to the lowest cadre, that is the lowest cadre in organization, like the supervisors, even the security man. So management apply to every department of organization. So that is what they mean by management is important to any level in organization. So they also talk about the aim of all managers, whether a senior manager or a junior one is the same. Yes. So every managers are working towards one aim. And what is that aim? Is to ensure that there's surplus in the organization. So that the business will not run down, will not shut down. So it happens that you are not making surplus or at least break even. So I don't think that organization will exist in future. So for you to kind of to continue the going concern of the organization, so the aim of all managers have to be the same, which is making profit or surplus. So that is all about that. So all these ones are just explanation. You can go through them. So that I don't want us to waste much time in reading everything. So you can go through them to understand what they mean there. But all what they explained there is what I just explained now. So we'll now go to the nature of small business. In the Nigerian economy and in all economies, small businesses litter the economic landscape, provide employment opportunity for people, and contribute significantly to economic development. In terms of quantity, they are larger than big businesses. So what they mean here is that the small business is what you can find easily everywhere, anywhere. If you go to rural area, you will see small business. If you go to urban area, you see small business. Even if you go to just any hidden place that you can think about, small business will always exist in that place. So that is what they mean by that. So definition of small business. Small business is not easy to define because the definition conceptual problems because of the definition conceptual problems. The problems arise mainly because of the perception of those defining small business rather. You may use your own qualitative judgment to define a small business. The small urban-based beer distributor who sells beer in the evening is obviously a small business operator. The small hairdressing located in urban Lagos is also a small business concern. A small business in America is not the same as a small business in Nigeria because the two nations are not at the same stages of growth. So what they mean here is that small business can be defined by individual according to the way you look at it. So the way you qualify the business. So small business to me might be small business, might not be small business to someone else. Small business to someone in Egypt, for example, might not be the same thing as a small business to me in Nigeria here. So it is the way you look at it that will make you to know to classify which one is small business and which one is not small business. So, like for example they made there, like now you can call a kind of a restaurant. There's a restaurant you can call a big business in this country now, but when you get to America, such business will be a small business to them there. So that is just what they mean there. Okay. So identifying a small business. So although we have succeeded in defining a small business, we need to go a step further to provide a framework that will enable us to identify small businesses in our environment. We need to establish the criteria and that distinguish a small business from a big business. So these are some of the criteria. Initial capital outlay. So a small business that you can a business that you can classify as a small business here. So it has to be depending on the kind of capital outlay they use to start business. So in this country, you can someone like that selling a recharge card can start business as low as 3,000 naira. So such business we'll call it small business. But when you see a business that you need to start with 10 million, 50 million, for example, you can't call that business a small business in Nigeria. But the care have to be taken whenever you are looking at a business in that kind of classified business in that manner, because there's some small business you can start with a huge capital outlay. You understand? Which might be too big for some small business. But in that, like, let's for example, maybe you want to go into transportation business, for example. So when you go into transportation business, for you to even get a to get one vehicle, you need up to 1 million naira, at least, for you to get one vehicle to start that business. Whereas, just like we make an example of a recharge card business, whereas as low as 3,000 naira or 5,000 naira can start recharge card business, but such cannot start that kind of transportation business. So you can't say because transportation business is starting with a higher capital outlay, so you now classify that as a big business. No, but because of the size of that business. So we have to be careful when we're using capital outlay sometimes to classify small and big business. So number of employees, yes, number of employees is another criteria that we need to use in kind of differentiating small business with a with a bigger business or large business. So any business that is involved with 2, 3, 4, 5 employees, so we'll classify that as a small business. Why any business that is above 3,000, 5,000 and above? So you have to classify that one as a big business because it entails a large capital outlay for you to run such a business, because you need to pay salaries of those employees and you have to make more money before you can be able to think about even employing such numbers of people. So that is another criteria to classify the business, either big or small. So we also talk about the ownership structure. Yes, in this case, a small business is always or usually owned by one man or selected small group of people. So we can classify small business by the capital, the ownership structure. If you look at a one-man business, for example, you know that particular business is a small business. But whenever you look at what they call it, this private company or private liability company or public liability company, you know that limited liability company rather, you know that those ones are big business because it involves more than 20, 30 shareholders. But in sole proprietorship and partnership, for example, those ones you can classify them as a small business because of the ownership structure, because of the number of the owners they have. So type of technology employed is another criteria to use to classify the businesses, either small or big. So small business cannot afford the latest technology that are advanced. While in business, big business, is going to be easy for them to acquire such technology because they have the capacity. So whenever you see small business, a business that is using advanced technology, you know that those business is a bigger business. While the one that are using the too advanced technologies, so you know that those businesses are small business. Okay, this one is just a practical exercise which you can read on your own. So technical information. Okay, this one we are talking about technical information from the, sorry. So they're just explaining technical information about the practical they just explained there. So we'll now go to types of small business. We have different type of small business, or the type of business you can use to categorize small businesses. So trading and commerce enterprises, yes, these are the ones that they are involved in trading, all this petty trading that you can find everywhere. They say they mention sales of bread, like people that are selling bread, all these aggregate bread sellers. So those ones are type of small business. Those ones, they classify them under the trading and commerce enterprises, recharge cards, soft drinks, and so on. So we'll now have what we call service enterprise or enterprises. All these service industry, like the ones that are involved in a small scale business, small scale service business, barber shop, shoe shiners, shoe repair shops, hairdressing salons, dentist shops, and so on. So those are service enterprise or enterprises. We also have small manufacturing enterprise. So small manufacturing enterprises are another major and important group in the Nigerian economic landscape. They engage in basic manufacturing activities that do not involve complex technologies or huge capital outlay. Examples of small manufacturing enterprises include sachet water manufacturing enterprise, bread baking enterprise, laundry, soap making enterprise, and so on. So those are the three types of small businesses. So the first one is trading and commerce commercial enterprises. We also have a service enterprise, and we have small manufacturing enterprises. Okay. So we're now going to rule of, okay, let me ask, is there any question, anyone that has any question or concern from what we have gone through so far before we move ahead?
No, sir.
I don't have any.
Okay,
No,
if you have
sir.
question, just raise up your hand. I will call upon you. Okay, no question. Okay, let's go to rule of management. Rule of management or strategic management in a business decisions. So the strategic management is defined as the set of decisions and action taken in formulation and implementation of strategies designed to achieve objective of an organization. So I think we all understand what strategy is all about. So it's kind of an action that you need to take to formulate a particular kind of policies that will guide your business and also to implement it. So, and they say it involves attention to no less than 9 areas as shown below. So let us look at the areas. So it involves determining the mission of the company, including broad statement about its purpose, philosophy, and goals. So what they mean here is that, so before your business can be in a good stand, you need to determine the mission. What is your aim of even going into that industry or going into that business? So you need to determine the mission of the company, including broad statement about its purpose, philosophy, and goals. Developing a company profile that reflects internal conditions and capabilities. So you need to develop a profile, a company profile, which reflects the internal capabilities, the internal condition and capabilities. So the third one is assessment of the company's external environment in terms of competitive and general contextual factors. So you also have to look at your environment around you, especially the industry you are trying to go into. Who are the competitors? Who are you going to kind of competing with in that kind of a business? So what are their strengths? What are their weaknesses you can exploit? So all those things have to put into consideration. So analysis of possible options uncovered in the matching of the company's profile with the external environment. So you also have to analyze. You also have to analyze the possible option that you kind of find out after going through the profile of your competitors. So, and the environment around you are going to venture into, you're going to venture a business into after you have gone to study the environment. You now to analyze the possible option that you have to adopt. So the fifth one is identify the desired options uncovered when possibilities are considered in the light of the company mission. So the sixth one, strategic choice of a set of long-term objectives and the strategies needed to achieve the desired option. Development of annual objectives and short-term strategies combined with long-term objectives and grand strategies. So this one is talking about involve a kind of try and be developing short-term, medium-term, and long-term strategy that's objective that is you are going to work towards to achieve your aim of establishing the company. Implementing strategic choice decision based on budgeted resource allocation and emphasizing the matching of task, people, strategies, technologies, and reward systems. So the strategies you have already strategized. So how are you going to implement them? So the decision you are going to take. So just look at them and look at the strategies and take a decision that make a choice that is going to make that go to beneficial to your business, so that you'll be able to achieve your goal. Review and evaluation of the success of strategic process as a basis for control and as an input for future decision making. So you also have to review and evaluate after you have applied all the strategies that you have developed. After applying it, you need to evaluate and look at it, check, and see whether the strategy you have applied, whether they are successful or not. If there's any improvement you need to make, if there's any kind of correction you need to make before you go further. So those are the 9 areas that they are talking about. So we'll now go to dimension of strategic decisions. What decisions facing a business are strategic and therefore deserve strategic management attention? Typically, strategic issues have 6 identifiable dimensions as shown below. The first one, strategic issue require top management decision. So whenever you want to strategize for your business, so the first dimension there is that it requires top management decision. So it has to be the top level of the management that will have to look at it critically and take a firm decision that is going to be implemented by the lower level of the management. Sorry, my finger has touched this thing. Here, not yet. So the second one, strategic issues involve the allocation of large amounts of company resources. Strategic decisions characteristics involve substantial resources deployment. Deployment of people, physical assets, or money needed must be either redirected from internal sources or secured from outside the firm. In either case, strategic decisions commit a firm to a stream of action over extended period, thus involving substantial resources. Strategic issues are likely to have a significant impact on the long-term prosperity of the firm. Strategic decisions ostensibly commit the firm for a long period of time, typically for 5 years. However, the time frame of impact is often much longer. So I think we understand what they mean there. Strategic issues are future-oriented. So before, if we want to look at a strategic of your company, it has to be, you have to look at the future. So you have to always think ahead of what am I going to do to achieve so things in so number of years? What is my aim in 5 years time? What am I aiming to achieve? What is my goal? What is my goal of this organization in 3 years time, 5 years time, or 10 years time? So it's always future oriented. Strategic issues usually have major multifunctional or multi-consequences. A strategic decision is coordinative. A decision includes factors as customer mix, competitive emphasis, or organizational unit. This necessarily involves a number of firm strategic business units, segmentation, divisions. So we understand what they mean by this multifunctional and multi-consequences, because it's something that it has to involve every segment of the organization, every department. So it's something that will have to involve all the people or the department heads in the organization that will make us to achieve a kind of our collective goal of the company. Strategic issues necessitate considering factors in the external environment. All business firms exist in an open system and are impacted by external conditions largely beyond their control. So if a firm is to succeed in position itself in future competitive world, the strategic managers must look beyond the limits of the firm's ownership. So that is that. So let's now go to level of strategy. So we'll have three levels of strategy. We have the one at the corporate level, we have one at the business level, and the last one at the functional level. So let's now look at it from the diagram here. So these are the three levels of the strategy in the business. We have corporate stroke business strategy. You understand? We'll have this one, this POM and RMD. This is the business level. This one is the business level, and this is the functional level. So there are two alternatives. So this is the one, and this is the second one. Okay. So sorry for this. Okay. So they now describe the alternatives for us. The first alternative, that picks the three levels of strategic management as they are structured in practice. In alternative one, the company is engaged in only one business, and the corporate and business level responsibilities are concentrated in a single group of directors, officers, and managers. This structure is nearly synonymous with the organizational format of the small businesses and constitute approximately 95% of all businesses in the United States. Alternative two is a classical or corporate structure comprised of three fully operative levels. The superstructure is provided at the corporate level, with the superstructure at the business level, giving direction and support for functional level activities. you should note that the approach taken throughout this course is best depicted by alternative 2. Thus, whatever appropriate topics will be covered from the perspective of each level of strategic management. So, I don't know. Okay, Madam Laroba, you have a question?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
The chart, this is very complicated, sir. The organizational chart that is
Okay.
not clear at all. If they bring this in,
Okay.
it will be difficult because I did not understand the multiple business.
You don't understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me see if I can explain it to you. You know, what they are trying to say here is that we have 3 levels of in a strategic decision making or strategic business decision making. So the first one is the corporate level. You understand? The
Yes,
corporate level. And the second one is the business level. Just like we'll have top managers and we'll have middle level managers, and we'll have kind of functional managers, those ones that are at the lower level, like supervisors and head of departments. You understand? Those are the lower level management. So the same thing apply in this strategic management. So we have the strategy that they take decision of in the top management level, which they call corporate level. You understand?
Yes,
so
sir.
The second one is the business level. That business level at the kind of how will I say it now? You know, after the owner of the directors of the company. So the next top level manager, those are the ones that are middle level managers. You understand? Those ones that, let's say that GM, general managers, and all those kind of top level managers, those ones are the ones that are following the corporate managers or corporate level. So the third level, which is the lower one, is the ones that are immediately kind of transacting with employees. Those ones are the ones that are closer to the employees, all the supervisors, the head of department. Those are the level of that functional level. So, and it didn't have to flow. You understand? So the corporate level are the one that are making the policy. They are the one making the policy. So, okay. And the policy will now be communicated to the lower level manager by the mid-level manager, which are the business level.
Okay.
I don't know whether I'm making point.
Yes, so, yes, sir.
After the communication of the policies to the business to the functional level, the functional level will now be the one to implement those decisions. Their own is to implement. They are the one that is working more than any of those levels, because they are the one to implement that particular strategy decision that they take, that the top level management took.
Yes, sir.
I hope you understand it better now.
Yes, sir. Yes, I understand. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So we'll now go to characteristics of strategic management decision. So here now, the characteristics of strategic management decision vary with the level of strategic activity considered. As shown in table 1, corporate level decisions tend to be value-oriented, conceptual, and less concrete than those at the business or functional level of strategic formulation and implementation. So look at what they are saying here now. So if you look at the decision of strategic decision that they take, so that one of that corporate level is not always kind of value-oriented, because they are not directly involved with day-to-day running of the business. They might not have the idea of what actually needed. You understand? It's only the corporate, what they call it, the business and functional level that's be able to kind of bring their own idea of what needed before the corporate level will be able to bring a function, a particular policy that will be able to function very well in the company. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's go for that.
Hello, Mr.
Okay, these are, yes, ma'am.
My network is bad, sure. Can't hear.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello,
Hello?
can you hear me?
Yes, I said I was lost a bit. This thing just went off like that. My network is doing on.
Oh, sorry. Which parts did you not get?
I think you are explaining characteristics of strategic management decisions, Abi.
Yes.
Or have you gone?
No, we're still on that characteristics.
Okay. Have you started with the ones in the book or the general explanation?
No, we are just general explanation. I'm just going to the table now, the table of the characteristics.
I got lost. If the network is fluctuating, I'll hear it. More time, I'll not hear again.
Sorry about that. So maybe when you watch the video, you'll be able to follow it.
No problem. Thank you.
So as we can see from the table here, the characteristics of the management decision of different levels are itemized here. You can see corporate, business, and functional. Those are the three levels we have. And their characteristics are listed here. The first row is the first row is the characteristics. The second row is the first level, which is corporate level. The third row is the business level, and the fourth row is the functional level. So I will now have their characteristics by the first column. Sorry, the first row, the fourth row here, type. So on the type, under corporate, we'll have conceptual. Under business, we'll have mixed. That means they are either this or that. So, and under functional, we'll have operational. So that means the type of the decision making, strategic decision making here under corporate is conceptual, while under business is mixed, and under functional is operational. So what operational, we all know what operational means. That means that is where the action is taking place. That is where that policy is going to be implemented. You understand? But the conceptual, this is where the concepts, they think about that idea. They formulate the policy from this corporate level. So why business own did not formulate the business the policy, did not implement it. Their own is to communicate the policy to the functional level, which functional level now implement it. So that is what they mean there. Measurability. So to measure the policy decision. So under corporate, value judgment dominant. Under the business, semi-quantifiable. While under the functional, usually quantifiable. So I don't understand that. If you don't understand, so I will explain it better. Okay.
The concept. Say the value judgment.
The value judgment, yes, is dominant there. You know what they mean there is that under corporate, so whenever particular decision is taken, is concepted in that place, you understand? They are the way they are always judgmental. You understand? Because they are not the one to apply it.
Okay.
You understand? They are not one to apply it. So they will be judging that this is how it's supposed to be. You understand? They will not, you understand? They will not kind of quantify that particular decision. They won't know, they will not really know the way it's going to be. But their own is just that they will take the decision that this is how it's going to be. And other people is to take a directive, you understand, on that. But the business level, their own is semi-quantifiable. They are neither here nor there. You understand?
Yes,
They will agree with the corporate managers, the corporate level, but they also want the functional level to kind of practicalize that particular decision.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes,
so why the under functional level, they are the one that are going to really put that decision into action. So that is where you will see that particular decision taking place.
Okay, sir. Understood, sir.
And that's what we mean by usually quantifiable, yeah.
Yes, sir. Understood,
So the frequency, on that frequency, periodic or sporadic, you understand? The way they take decision, their own decision is either periodic or can be anytime sporadic. So it doesn't really take a dimension. They can take their decision at any time. Sometimes it will be periodic, maybe every year or every month, every quarter. But under business level, it's also the same with corporate level. But under functional level, it's always periodic.
Periodic.
Yes, it's only periodic because they always they are the one that know when this is right to be done and when this is not right to be done. Adaptability. So how did they adapt? You understand, with the corporate the strategic policy. So the adaptability of it is low under corporate, while it's medium under business, but it's very high under functional. You understand? Because if you look at the functional level, they are the one that is doing, they are really putting this into action. So they are adapted to it. So it's always high under that functional level. Relation to present activity. So the policy relating to the present activities, that is to do it, to apply that that kind of what they call it, the policy is always innovative from corporate level.
Okay.
You understand why it's mixed in business level, but it's supplementary in functional level.
Okay.
So under the risk of decision taking is wide range. You understand, other corporate. But why is it wide range? Because they don't act. They are not the one acting the policy. So they are only just to innovate, a kind of thinking about it, and also they will just formulate the policy. They don't know how it's going to be done. You understand? So that is why the risk there is very wide. So because you think about something, about the policy, and you don't know how that policy is going to affect the business. So it's always kind of open to a wide range of risk in that level. But under business, it's moderate. Why is it moderate? Because they are directing the functional level to take the action, and they're also depending on what the functional level do to take the glory. You understand? So that is why it's moderate there. But under functional, the risk is very low because they always make sure that that policy come to a kind of judicious conclusion or judicious end. So they will always want to apply that particular policy to the letter for it to generate what they call a final benefit. So they will, that is why their own risk, the risk at that level is very low. So profit potential. So profit potential is high, is very large under corporate, while it's medium under the business and it's small under the operation. Now, why is it like that? Because at the end of the day, the profit that the business makes, who is having the large share is the top managers, the top management, right?
Okay,
So
understood.
they are the ones that are going to even take the glory at the end of the day, but not even the people that apply it. You understand? So that's why it's large, yeah, and it's more on the functional. So the cost is measured under the corporate level because they are the owner of the business. They are the one that is incurring the cost of that policy. So it's medium under the business, while it's modest under the functional. So time horizon. So if you look at the time that the corporate decision is taking is just normally it take long range under the corporate, medium range under the business, and short range under the functional. So flexibility. So this is another dimension. Flexibility is high under corporate, while it's medium under the business level and low under the functional level. The corporation required considerable under the corporate level, moderate under the medium level, and little under the functional level. So they now come here to explain that some common functional level decisions include generic versus brand name labeling, basic versus applied R&D, high versus low inventory level, general versus specific purpose production equipment, and close versus loose supervision. Bridging corporate and functional level decisions are those made at the business level. So as table 1 indicates, business level descriptions of strategic decisions fall between those for the other 2 levels. For example, business level decisions are less costly, risky, and potentially profitable than corporate level decisions, but they are more costly, risky, and potentially profitable than functional level decisions. So some common business level decisions involve plant location, marketing segmentation, and geographic coverage and distribution channels. So they are just explaining what I basically explained on that chart.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, we'll now go to this. Okay, so these ones, they're talking about the behavioral effects and be expected to improve the welfare of the firm. Okay, the first one there, strategic formulation actually should enhance the problem prevention capabilities of the firm because of the encouraging and rewarding subordinate attention to planning consideration. Validation managers are aided in their monitoring and forecasting as related by workers who are alerted to needs of strategic planning. Group-based strategic decisions are most likely to reflect to best available alternatives. Better decisions are probable outcomes of the process for 2 reasons. First, generating alternative strategies is facilitated by group interaction. Second, screening of options is improved because group members offer forecasts based on their specialized perspectives. Hope you understand that.
Yes, sir.
Employee motivation should improve as employees better appreciate the productivity reward relationship inherent in every strategic planning, in every strategic plan rather. When employees or their representatives participate in strategy formulation process, a better understanding of the priorities and operations of the organization's reward system is achieved, thus aiding incentive for goal-directed behavior. So I hope we understand that particular point, that before a strategic planning or a strategic policy can work very well with the organization, they have to carry other the lower level kind of staff or employees along. So let them also participate in the formulation of that strategy, so that they also will be able to know that they are also valued. Their input are valued in the organization. So that will help to achieve the aim at the end of the day. Gaps and overlaps in activities among diverse individuals and groups should be reduced as participants in strategy formulation leads to a clarification of role differentiations. The group meeting format, which is characteristic of the delineations of individual and subgroup responsibilities. So the gaps and overlaps should be reduced so that there will be kind of a clarification of the role of individuals or that people that are involved in the strategic planning. So resistance to change should be reduced. The required participation helps eliminate the uncertainty associated with the change, which is at the root of most resistance. So while participants may no more be pleased with their own choices, then they would stick to authoritarian decisions, and their acceptance of new plans is more likely if employees are aware of the parameters that limit the available options. So we are talking about resistance to change here. In order for the business or the company to reduce that resistance to change, because people always resist to changes, especially when the change is kind of ambiguous. So you don't know what the change will bring, whether it's going to reduce your capability in the company, whether it's going to even lead to your retrenchment or it's going to lead to your sack. You don't know. So that's why people always resist the change. But with kind of carrying them along and make them to know about the changes you want to make, that the company want to make, it will make them to understand that this is what the change is all about. And they also will know that the change is not going to affect them in any way. They also would like to work towards that to make sure that the company come good at the end of the day. So that is the conclusion of the unit 1. So I don't know if we have any question before we go further.
So, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I said, do we have any relevant past questions that we can at least deliberate upon when we read, or can we like go through some, I don't know, I see there are no self-assessment questions, are they?
There are self-assessment questions, yeah.
Okay.
Let me see.
I don't know. My network has been very anyhow, so I might not really.
Okay, like this one now. This tutor mark assignment states the characteristics of management decision at different levels, which is what we tabulated that time.
Okay.
The characteristics of management decisions at different levels. The first level, we know the first level is corporate level. The second level is business level, and the third level is functional level.
Yes.
So you have to state the characteristics, but I have not seen this particular question in the past question I've seen. And I've not really seen a question from that unit 1. I think mostly the question I've seen so far, always come from unit 2 and above.
Okay. All right.
But it's good for us to know them so that in case if they want to surprise us,
That's
we'll be ready.
it.
That is it.
Mhm.
You can do that.
Mhm.
So,
All right. Thank you.
yes.
Mhm.
So this unit 2 is also characteristics and business goals of small business enterprises. So let's go to the characteristics. I think the characteristics of small business, which I know some of us might be able to know, the ownership, size of the employees, which we'll talk about earlier today, size of employees, revenue and profitability, market area, location, limited investment. So I think we should be able to let us just go through this one.
Yes, sir.
So the ownership, these are the characteristics of small business. In case, because I've seen a question on this, that they say you should, they even state this, what do you call it, this particular phrase here. The characteristics of a small business vary from one place to another, but there are few similar characters related to a small business. The following, they now say, name those characteristics.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, I've seen a question like that. So the first one is ownership. So the ownership of business. So small business are mostly owned by sole proprietors and partnership. You understand? So if you look at the ownership of business, when you see sole proprietorship, you know that is a small business. Partnership is always a small business, except they now develop or make it into liability company before they will now become big business. But always the ownership of business that are ownership for structure that is a small business is always sole proprietorship and a partnership, and sometimes limited liability company. So size of employees, just like as I stated earlier, small-scale business employ smaller teams of employees than companies that operate on a larger scale, because most small businesses are labor-intensive. The smallest businesses are run entirely by single individuals or small teams. So revenue and profitability also characterize the small business. Small-scale business revenue is generally lower than companies that operate on a larger scale. So note that lower revenue does not necessarily translate into lower profitability. So we should note that. So some people generating small money doesn't mean that they are not making profit. So it depends on how effective the organization is. So that is another characteristic. Market area. So small-scale business serves a much smaller area than corporations or large businesses. A small convenience store might serve a single community. Due to its size, it cannot serve areas much larger than a local area, since growing beyond that would increase the scale of business operation and push it into a new classification. So we understand that. Location too.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
In the ownerships, sorry, sir.
Yes.
Ownership of the small business, they said a partnership and the limited liability. How comes there will be a business? Because in partnership, there are many people from 2 to 20. And so it says under small business again. I'm confused.
Yes, you know why they say that? There are some, if you look at partnership, it starts from 2, right?
Yes, sir.
It starts from 2. So a partnership that is owned by 2 individuals cannot be a big business.
Yes.
You understand? A partnership that is owned by 5 individuals they are not classified as a big business.
Yes, sir.
So that is why they mention partnership there. It doesn't necessarily that it's partnership that are of higher number cannot be classified as a big business. And another thing that classifies big business is a kind of the structures they run. Some partnership, like partnership, for example, you know, they cannot be a public company. You understand?
Yes,
and
sir.
anytime if happen that the government want to tax them, they will not tax them the way they tax the corporate organization or the, what they call it, limited liability company, for example, or public liability company, because they look at them as a smaller business than those corporations. Yes. So that's why they classify them under the small business.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Limited
Understood,
liability
sir.
company. There are also some limited liability companies that are just about 5 or 10 members that own the company. So those ones also can be classified as a small business. So, and some, just like I stated earlier in our introduction, a small business to us, to some people like US or a country like US or UK might not be small business to us here.
Yes, sir.
You understand? So
Yes, sir.
So you cannot say because it's not small business to you here, you cannot classify that as a small business over there.
Okay. Understood, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So we'll now go to location. So the small scale business is mostly found in a limited area, along busy streets or major mode of transport. Also, the business is often located closer to material and supply sources and to market, easing the burdens of transportation and time. So we understand what they mean by that, that small business is always found in a kind of small places, like rural areas, like where you know that there's a concentration of maybe where students located, where are students that you know they can easily get their markets there. So the location also determine the small business or where the small business is. So limited investment. So small business is always having limited income, also limited capital. So if they don't have enough capital, so you know that they won't be able to invest in a bigger venture. So limited investment is another characteristic that you can use to describe the small business. So from this now, we know that when they ask you in exam, what are the characteristics of small business? We have ownership structure, we have size of employees, we have location, we have market area, we have revenue and profitability, and we have limited investment. So you should take that one in your head so that in case if that question come up, so you'll be able to identify them before you explain.
Sorry, please, Mrs. Victoria, is she not offering this course?
She's offering now. I don't know why she's not in the class. Maybe she forgot or she's resting. I don't know.
They gave her a company yesterday. Let her rest.
People know.
All right.
So yes, who can form an abbreviation for us in this kind of one? In this kind,
you know that's why I remember that number. Because I know you would have told us. Let her give us. That's why I remember that.
So if we can just form abbreviation for it, so that at least that one will stick to our head. You know.
Okay, let's try and see.
First one will have ownership structure. We have size of employees. We have revenue and profitability.
Use small, but can we use SMORL square? Small.
SMORS square. Small.
L
Okay.
square. Mm.
That is a good one.
I'm trying to learn
Small.
from Madam Victoria.
You try. You try. Small. Yes.
SMORL square.
Yes.
Small
Okay.
spelled in
S.
another way.
Okay.
S
S
for size of
represents
employees.
size of employees.
M
M
for market
represents market
area.
area. O
O
represents
ownership. R revenue. O is for ownership.
ownership. Okay. R
R
is
for revenue and
revenue,
for profitability. Then the L
location,
square for location and
location
limited
and
investment.
limited investment. That is good one. That is a good one.
Have you?
So I hope we'll put that one in our head.
Small.
Yes, so that's the
So
Thank
goal
you.
of small business. We'll now go to the goals of small business. Basically, the goals of small business are profitability, efficiency, and what is the third one? Efficiency and growth. Those are this one is very simple. So these are the goals. You understand? These are the goals of the small business. Profitability. We all know that before you go into any business, your primary aim is to make profit, is to make surplus of what you are investing.
Maximize your make
Yes,
profit.
that is it. Yes. So that is the first goal. And the one is efficient. The second one is efficiency. The efficiency in a business operation is a way to increase productivity, to improve efficiency. You might decide to get raw materials earlier than you normally do to satisfy your customers. The third one is growth. Sorry. Okay. So the third one is growth. So most small business does not aim at growth at all, thereby offering existing products, process, and service. Growth should be the goal of any small business. So what they are trying to say is that some small business they don't even think about growth before they go into business. So they really need to think about that as their goal. So that is all about Unit 2. So just like as I said, I've seen several questions on this unit from different years that I've seen the past question. So we have to really take them in our head, and they are very easy to understand. So the first one is the characteristics, which will just give abbreviation of small, and the second one is the goals, which are basically three of them: profitability, efficiency.
We can call it peg for drying clothes so that I will not forget. PEG. That was
Peg.
another. But Victoria, I wish so that we have her.
Yes.
And tell her that I'm learning from her.
When she watch this video, she'll be very, very happy about it. So
thank you.
So that is all about the Unit 2. Let's go further to Unit 3 so that we can cover significant number of discourse material to the large part of it. So we'll now go to the importance of small business enterprise. And we also talk about the problem of small business enterprise. So let's go to the importance. So the general importance of small business enterprise are it provides employment opportunities. It helps to conserve foreign exchange. It promotes indigenous entrepreneurship. It enhances the quality of life in urban and rural area. This one are also something that we can easily identify or easily fit. So there are just 4 of them. these are the importance of business enterprise. The first one is it provides employment opportunities. It helps to conserve foreign exchange. It promotes indigenous entrepreneurial skills. It enhances the quality of life in urban and rural areas.
I think there are about 8.
Madam Esther.
There are
Sir?
8.
Yes, you are raising up your hand.
Yes, I wanted to tell you that there are 8, not 4.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe because my phone is cutting it short. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
No problem.
Okay. Okay, let me go further. Oh, sorry about that. Okay.
No
We
problem.
also have reduces rural urban migration. It responds promptly to the dynamic business environment than big businesses. It helps in production of special and varied products and services, which may not be attractive to business attractive business options to large firms. It facilitates the use of untapped savings, thereby encouraging capital formation, which is the engine of growth. Okay, so who can anybody can form a vision for this one?
Give
This
us
one is
time.
much.
We will form.
It is
This one is 8 is much.
We can still form, but we'll go form, no worry.
Okay. Okay. So let's look at it from the beginning. The first one is provide employment opportunities, conserve foreign exchange, promote indigenous entrepreneurial skills, enhance
Helps to conserve the foreign exchange. What are they really saying?
That's the same question. Thank you.
It helps to conserve foreign exchange. What they mean is this, you know, a small business, when a small business is run in the country, you will have a healthy small business in the country. So you will not go and be carrying your money to be buying foreign goods, right? You're not buying foreign goods because the most of the items you need, they are available in the locality.
Locally.
So our exchange will be within the country. It will not be foreign. You will not be using foreign exchange in our transaction.
In other words, it helps in minimizing foreign exchange.
Yes, it's conserved. So that is what it means.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So it promotes indigenous. We understand this one now. Indigenous entrepreneurial skills. So it helps us to gain more knowledge of entrepreneurial skills. Enhances the quality of life in urban and rural area. We all know that.
Yes.
Yes, it reduces the migration, a bit rural urban migration. Yes. Respond promptly.
Dynamic business environment.
Dynamic business environment and big business. Yes. You know what they mean by that?
Yes. You like a small business now.
Yes.
You can find it anywhere. If I want to buy this bread locally now, sharp, get up is everywhere. You get it there, whatever you want, small things like that. Unlike some areas, if you go to GRAs where it's only big ones, there are some things that are difficult for you to reach. But with the help of all these small businesses, you can get things around everywhere. Considering the market where they sell, the places, their locations.
Yeah. And also anytime there's any change of taste in an environment.
Yes.
So the small business can just respond immediately to change to that particular taste that people are requesting for.
Yes.
Okay.
Like the large business that will need to decide this person will approve, that one will do this. Before they can come to an agreement.
Yes.
Any changes.
Exactly. So it helps in production of special and varied products and services, which may not be attractive business option to large firms. We all know this one.
Yes,
You
yes.
understand? There are some things that if large business want to say, no, this one is too small for us to go into. So it's only
Yes,
the
yes.
small business that will go and in production of such. So
Yes.
facilitates the use of untapped. People are just sending me message. Don't allow me to concentrate.
Sorry.
No problem. Yeah. Oh, good. Maybe I should mute this my phone. Where am I, sir? Have I got in here?
You are
I'm
in
not
the
sure.
last one, Bobby. Facilitates the use of untapped savings, thereby encouraging capital formation, which is the engine of growth.
Are we here yet? Yeah. Okay, we're not here yet. Oh, good. Okay, we have passed this one. Okay, this is where we are, right?
The last number, no, which one is this?
We're not here yet.
You were reading, okay, we are reading the last one
So
out of those 8.
the next page.
The
Scroll up.
Where?
Yes, here.
Oh, this guy, while I believe.
Sorry, sir.
It's okay. It's because I'm using phone.
Okay, the next page.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is it. Okay. So it facilitates use of untapped savings, thereby encouraging capital formation, which is the engine of growth. What understand what this means, Abby?
No, sir.
Untapped savings. Like now, let's say, for example, some people that they have other works that they are doing, right? And they have been making savings. They are making savings, extra savings from what they are doing. So those savings, so people can now say, I have enough savings so that I can use to start up something.
more business.
You understand? One business. So this that savings can now converted into a small business. People can now venture into business because they have that savings that they have been saving. You understand that they will not think about using it for something else. You understand? They don't have use of it, but they will just think about, let me go and use this money and enter this kind of small business that will be able to give me more profit.
Yes.
So facilitate the use of untapped savings, thereby encouraging capital formation, which is the engine of growth. Yes, and it's only by using that savings that will now encourage you to enter into the business and also make you to grow on your own. I hope you understand that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's now go into the importance of small business enterprise in economic development. So this is general importance. So this first one is general importance.
This one now is
This one is in economic development. You understand? This one is within the economy. So the first one there is it acts as catalyst for technical development.
Technological.
Technological. Yes, technological development. Yes. Provide employment opportunities. Just like it was on the other one too. They provide training ground for establishment and management of a large firm. Over time, some of these firms grew in size, either by expansion or by merging with other firms. I don't know whether we understand that point.
Yes. I think I do.
Yes.
Okay. I think what they're basically saying there is that is that where the small business provide training ground. You
It is
understand?
acquire all the expertise and all the knowledge that will be useful
Yeah,
in case it turns
yes,
into a night farm, or maybe tomorrow
yes.
when you expand or you match with someone, you would have gotten
Uh,
the business
the
knowledge
knowledge
already.
from the small business
From the
you
small
run,
business.
yes, yes.
Yes, I think I
Yeah,
get
that's what
that.
they mean. Yes. So they encourage and promote private sector initiative and development. Okay.
Mhm.
They help to fill the gap left and unserviced by the large firms.
Yes,
So
sir.
yes, they help to tap the relatively ignored and other and unexploited resources and areas of production. They said no, this one is not the said though. They serve the process, have you? Or
Read it first now.
they
Then
said
you
the
come back.
distribution of incomes in many countries, both in pure financial terms and in regional terms.
So
It
it's
can't be
not
the said. There should
that
be this.
language is wrong.
It cannot be the said. It should be they
Serve
serve
the
as the process or something like that.
distribution of income in many
Yeah,
countries in pure financial terms and in regional terms. Okay.
in regional terms, yes.
Mm.
Okay, they act as industrial links between local producers of raw materials and industrial concerns. Okay, they have positive implication for improving the standard of living of the citizens and generation of foreign exchange through exports. Okay, I think we
Do
understand that.
business is exports?
Yes, some small business can export.
Okay.
Yes,
Can
they
you give me
can.
an example of one?
Like,
Can you give me an example of one?
Example of small business that export.
The exports. Yes.
That export, like let's say for example, let me see this cashew. Let's say cashew nut.
Okay.
Cashew nut.
Business,
How
right?
like distributors. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah,
So
yeah.
there are some of them that
The
they will
moment you
go.
even said that, now I know they can.
Yes, they will go. They will
Because
go. They will go
it
into the
goes up
farm.
very, very well.
Go and gather the cashew nut from the farmers. They will
Yes.
buy it and they will go and take it to the borders and export it.
I said the moment you mentioned cashew nuts, because it's going on in my place very well. I just know they do. Because
Yes.
a lot of people look forward to this cashew nut business in my place. You see them, once this cashew nut period passes, people start building, people make money for other businesses clamoring for. I understand that very well now. That's a very good example. Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome. Okay, so now go to the problems of small business enterprises. Okay, this one we must find the abbreviation for this one though.
Which one be that? Problem?
The problems of small business enterprises, because it's very easy to
LIP.
form abbreviation.
LIP. Okay, it's more than, it's plenty. Oh.
It's plenty. I also see questions they ask about this. So this one, I don't know, they always quote this particular, it seems they always quote this material anytime they're asking questions. Even though small business enterprise has its importance, it is necessary to look at the problem facing small business enterprises. List the problem. You understand?
Financial
capital, we know that one. Lack of continuity.
Like you said, they don't think about growth, a lot of them.
Yes.
And apart from not thinking about growth, sometimes, maybe if the owner of the business just work on, before you know, even if another person wants to do from that family, the person can venture into something else, different from what that person is doing.
Yes.
Then
so poor implementation. This is not implementation, no. This is poor implementation of government policy.
Government policy.
Yes.
They know
It's poor implementation.
They don't even follow. A lot of them don't follow government policy.
Yes. So, and poor managerial skills. You understand? You know, lack of lack of expertise. So in
Yes,
a small business,
very
so
They
it
run
affects.
it the way they like.
Yes.
Run it any whichever.
Inadequate information base.
Okay.
They are very limited to information of running
Business.
the business.
Okay.
So we also have inadequate infrastructure, which is very right, especially in Nigeria. We have lack of raw materials, of course. We have poor accounting system.
A lot of them don't even have.
They don't even know how they are.
They
Some
don't
people say they don't even run their account of their company. They do it very.
So that even when they are running at a loss, sometimes they will not even know.
They don't even know. Yes, they just do it very. Whatever come, we'll take it to. So I hope they will not have anybody person here, please.
Because let me give you an example. I used to know of someone at home. She will just go and she's just selling this rice. She cooks rice to sell. Okay, a lot of the time, before you know it, her capital is finished. She'll go and make very fine soup. They'll tell her, give me 15 naira rice, give me this. One day, the daughter was asking her, Mama, yes, how much did you spend in preparing this soup? She told her, how much did you do this? How much did you sell? She said, so I've not even been making profit. Can you imagine?
Yes,
she did not even know.
You don't know. Because
the person selling did not even know that she has not been making
profit. They don't even know how to do the accounting. They don't know how to list their expenditures, their revenue.
I'm telling you, they don't sit down to calculate all those.
They don't do it.
The
So
only time they know is when the money just pafuka, when the money is gone. She will not realize what is happening. My enemies are at work. They don't want me to get to forgetting that she's not.
That is one of the problem of the small business. So this the other one, that is the last one, is unstable policy environment. Their policy, the policy they employ is very, very unstable. You understand? So
government policy.
No, their own policy.
Okay. Government policy.
Government policy is okay. Or lead some small businesses. Okay, it's not their own. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, government policies. Okay, unstable. Because the government policies are unstable. Because changing of government all the time. When there another government comes, they will change, they will bring another policy. The one that you are used to is no more there, and it also affects their stability.
The negative.
Yes. So who can remember the 9 point again?
This one where they if I don't look, I don't know if you remember, and God knows.
Okay. Let me try if I can state at least let us know 5 that we can state clearly.
Okay.
Out of 9, at least there's no how they will not ask for us to state 5 of them.
At least 5.
Yes, at least 5. Inadequacy of
finance capital.
Yes. Inadequacy of finance capital.
Lack of continuity.
Yeah, lack of continuity, yes, 2.
Inadequate government policy. I remember that one because we just finished.
Lack of raw material.
No, that is unstable policy of policy environment.
Unstable
policy environment. The other one is lack of government policy implementation.
Poor implementation of government policy.
Government policy, yes. That is the first one.
Okay.
Yes. We also have poor accounting system.
That's one of the poor accounting system.
Yeah. And we also have lack of raw material, inadequate infrastructure,
poor managerial skills.
Yes, poor managerial skills. Yes. So, if we can list at least 5.
Leave me alone.
Whose dog is barking? We're through with that unit 3. Can we go to unit 4 now? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So unit 4 is a basic concept in management. This is another unit we need to take cognizance of, because questions do usually come out of this.
Okay.
Basic concept of management. Management is a universal, acceptable, and necessary concept, irrespective of whether or not an organization exists to make profit. It takes place at all levels in an organization, and every manager performs essentially the same function, whether he belongs to top or middle or first line management. The difference lies in the magnitude of the task and the scope and degree of the authority. Just like as we explained earlier, they now put Lawa noted that the word management was derived from an Italian word, managiari, which means train horses. So that is according to law 1993. It was originally used to indicate the process of managing, training, or directing sporting and housekeeping activities. Later, it was extended to the operation of government and businesses and business. Management can thus be defined as a process by which scarce resources are combined to achieve given objectives. This describes an activity which can be better referred to as managing. It refers to the people who carry out the activity. So, to put differently, management is the achievement of organizational goals through people and other resources. The manager's job is to combine and coordinate human, material, and technical resources in the best way to achieve these goals. Managers may not be directly involved in production. They do not produce or finish goods. Rather, they direct the effort and activities of order to achieve the organization's set goals. So management indeed is the criteria ingredient in the 6 M's. We all know the 6 M's: manpower, machinery, money, market, method, and material. These are the basic resources of any organization centered on the. So basically what they are just trying to explain to us is the concept of management. So how some of the scholars kind of look at the management in their own definitions. So most production efforts, especially that of consumer goods, were undertaken in the home. So according to Frederick Winslow Taylor, scientific management means knowing exactly what you want men to do and seeing that they do it in the best and cheapest way. According to Harlow Pearson, scientific management characterizes that form of organization and procedure in purposive collective efforts, which rest in principles or laws derived by the process of scientific investigation and analysis, instead of tradition or on policies determined empirically and casually by the process of trial and error. So all these ones are just the way the scholars look at the management or scientific management as per se. I think what we are concerned about mostly here should be the Henry Fayol's management, what they call it, management characteristics or functions, management functions. So Frenchman consider management to exist on 7 functions: planning, organizing, leading, coordinating, controlling, and controlling, it's still many to controlling, staffing, and motivating. So in case they ask us the 7 functions of management according to Henry Fayol, the Frenchman. So the functions according to the file are planning, organizing, directing, controlling, staffing, and motivating, right? I hope I got the 7 correct. So the above are to attain organizational goals and objectives. So they also talk about Brecht, Kuntz and Donner, Docker, Lawrence, Apley. I don't think we are concerned with all these scholars' definitions. I want you just to know the basic definition of management, which is the process of achieving organizational goal through directing and controlling others in the company to achieve the company organization or the organization goal, which is to make profit. Okay, like what they say here, the definitions are endless. Why some corroborate themselves, others are contrary to each other. What appears to be indisputable is the fact that management is a process by which responsible people, that is managers in an organization, get things done through the effort of other people in group activities. So that is what we need to know. Okay. So that is the conclusion there. So I think our main focus here should be the definition of management. So if we can just get like the Aherifayo definition and maybe Winslow Taylor. So if we can get those two in our head, how they define the management. So in case they ask us to define it according to so person. So I don't think they are going to ask questions about all those scholars.
Okay.
Yes.
I hope so.
Okay. Management principles. This one, we know about 14 principles of management by Henry Fayo. How many of us have been taught about that before?
I don't think I know it. Or even if I've been taught, I can't even remember it. God knows.
I think we were taught in year 1.
I didn't do year 1 with 2 people in now. I joined that.
Okay. Oh, no wonder. We are taught in year 1 in bus 105 or 106. Yes.
Okay, in fact, I'm doing business admin for the first time.
Wow.
But I've been doing accounting before, so I used to.
So management principle. So let's now go through it. Management principle. Principles in management are fundamental truths or what thought to be truth at a given time, explaining relationship between 2 or more sets of variables, usually an independent variable and a dependent variable. Management principles may be described as how one variable relates to another. What will happen when these variables interact? For example, in management, the principle of unity of command states that the more often an individual reports to a single superior, the more likely it is that the individual will feel a sense of loyalty and obligation, and the less likely it is that there will be confusion about instruction. So we know about this unity of command. Yes, that it's always very reasonable and responsible to kind of answerable to one boss than to be answering instead of you to be answering to be different bosses that you don't know where you belong. You understand? So this one will command you, the other one will command you. You don't know who are you reporting to. So that principle of unity of command is very necessary. Is very important in management. So they'll now talk about universal principle of management. The universal principle of management has been highlighted by Harry Fayo, known as 14 principles of management. These are as follows. Okay, let me try if I can list at least 10 of them before I even open the book. Authority and responsibility. We have authority and responsibility. We have this has gone into my head. We have we have unity of command. I had that one. I know we have unity of command. We have unity of direction. We have what the other ones? Let me open my decision. We have a centralization. We have discipline. We have equity. We have esprit de corps. Esprit de corps. This one is a French. Esprit de corps.
I've come across this before.
This means unity of employee. You understand? This one means that all the employees have to be united to achieve a united goal. You understand? So the managers are responsible for the development of morale in the workplace, individually and in the area of communication. So the manager have to kind of create an atmosphere of uniting all the staff under him. Okay. You understand? So that's what I mean by esprit de corps. Okay. So we have initiative, we have order, we have remuneration, we have scalar chain, we have subordination of individual interest, we have stability of tenure. The remaining two are those ones, unity of command and unity of direction. Yes, I got it. Unity of command, unity of direction. So those are the 14 principles. So who can list them now without looking at them?
List what? I'm joining back. I've been. Did you list all of them?
You said?
You list all of them.
No, they might ask us to list at least 10 of them.
I know I can list many, but not because I know, but because I know it from. I've been in an organizational setup for many years, so I know some.
Yes, like the 14th principle.
This division of work, esprit de corps, discipline, centralization, authority, and responsibility. Yes. Even if I didn't read through this, I know I can bring those ones. It's necessary.
And they might not even ask you to explain it. They might just ask you to list them.
Okay, we'll try. Shall we do for the first time?
Even if God will help us to list.
Amen. And if they say you should explain, I think it shouldn't be hard for us to explain. What do you mean by unity of command? What do you mean by unity of direction? What do you mean by the innovative? What do you mean by scalar of chains? What do you mean by authority and responsibility? What do you mean by what they call it? Discipline,
equity,
the equity, and so on. Order, even order, remuneration is also there. So all those ones, we're able to explain them in our own way, even if we don't want to explain them word by word on our material. We'll be able to explain them in our own English.
These type of things, there are very many. The best bet is to understand what they are saying. If you say you want to use your talk along the line.
Yeah.
We'll try by the grace of God.
We'll try to go through. It's not easy.
So for now,
the network is very
nonetheless, Fayot's contribution to management theory is unique and valuable. He identifies 6 activities that must be accomplished in all industrial organizations. These are accounting, commercial, financial, managerial, technical, and security. I hope this one too is very easy for us to
Okay,
list.
what's the caption? 6
Fire.
activities that
Okay.
must be
6
accomplished.
activities that must be accomplished in all industrial organizations, according to Fayot. That is Harry Fayot, a French scientist. Yes. So the 6 activities are accounting, commercial, financial, managerial, technical, and security. We're just talking about the activities that need to be taking place in an organization or in a management setup.
Yeah.
So, yes, accounting have to be there, commercial have to be there, which is concern the marketing part of the organization. The financial, that is to finance the company. Managerial, to manage the company. Technical, the technical aspect of the organization, and security. Those are the 6 activities that need to be accomplished in all industrial organizations.
Facts. You can call it that. Facts. For short. Facts.
Facts.
Yes.
Facts.
Yes.
So M is managerial, F is financial, A is accounting, C is commercial, T is technical, and S is security.
Yes.
M facts. Those are the activities that must be accomplished in all industrial organizations according to Fayot.
Fire.
Yes.
We'll remember this one.
So I also see this particular question in one of the past questions. Why principles in management are useful?
Okay.
Why principles in management are useful, and these are the reason: to increase efficiency, to give a definite and concrete shape to management, to improve research in management, and to attain social goals by increased efficiency in the use of research.
They will tell us to go and start enumerating or discussing or expatiating. Meanwhile, they just stated them.
They just listed them. So I think from their own question, they are just referring you to list all these things, because they are just asking the question the same way they put here. Why principles in management are useful? They are asking the same question. Why principles in management are useful?
They are useful to.
You now say they are useful to increase efficiency. 1, to give a definite and concrete shape to management. 3, to improve research in management. 4, to attain social goals by increased efficiency in the use of research.
Okay.
So at least that is what they give us, and that is what they used to. That is what they are used to. They are going to use to mark us.
More than this, then.
But this one they give us. So can we call it a night here, or can we go further?
How many units have we treated so far?
This is the 4th unit.
I think we just finished units
4.
Okay, 5.
This is unit 4. Now. Is it unit 5 or 4?
Finished 5. We just finished 5. In my own, I think.
It's 5. Okay.
Don't try.
We don't try now. And we have 17 units in this course.
Okay.
So if I've treated 5 now, that means we'll have 12 units to go.
Well, we are done. Then we'll pass questions.
So that means we're at a higher pace.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And we'll have 1 week.
Okay. Yes, we will finish it by God's grace.
Amen.
Yes, and come back and follow with questions.
Yes. Yes, because and another thing I observe in this ENT303, there's a lot of ES doesn't have their past. They don't post their past question. I don't know why.
Okay.
I only have few.
Try to post.
I'll post I'll post the one I have on our revision platform.
So
So
that
that
we
people can do. Yes.
thank
I
you
have
so much.
2018. There's none from 2019 at all. 2020, I think I have from 2020, I have from 2021, 2022 is only one, two.
Okay,
Yeah,
sir.
I'll post them.
Okay, sir.
Not as they
Yes.
cover much, as in many parts of the handout. Yeah, okay.
Is there
Yes.
any summary for this course? I didn't see it.
Any what?
Summary for this.
Of course,
ENT303.
there will be summary. There will always be summary for every course.
Okay. So you
There's
should
always
please.
be summary. Okay, I'll post it on the platform.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. So it seems people are not really interested in this course because I just wonder why people are not
That is
turning
one
up.
of our core courses.
Eh?
I thought it's one of the core courses for us.
It's actually elective course. It's not
It's an elective.
It's an elective course.
Okay.
It's only
So
the elective course I registered this semester. All my other courses are core courses.
your own better now. We wait GST, they follow us from body day.
Yes, it's because they are just coming to now. So you have to go through what we went through. You
I
guys,
have
Sir,
one.
this MKT,
you guys
is
are
it?
even lucky. You guys are even lucky. You know, our own first year, our GST, our first day, the first exam, they introduce us to now. They give us 3 GST on the same day. We write the 3 GST.
I saw people posting that thing.
And that time we start exam by 7, no, not 8:30. They started posting exam. That time it was 7 a.m. We start our exam.
What about proximity to the exam centers? Are they not checking out?
They don't care. You have to be there. And if you are late after 30 minutes, they will lock you out. You are not going to. And that time,
Would you
see
please
struggle. You see struggle that time because they joined 3 centers together. Lagos Study Center, Apapa Study Center. What am I even saying? It's not only 2, only 3. Apapa Study Center will write exam in the same VI. The Mushi Study Center will come and write the exam there. The what they call it, Makati will be on their own. So those 3 plus we will now join together, and you see crowd. We'll be pushing each other.
That's bad.
In fact, that first year it was terrible. It was a horror experience. I'm telling you, that first day we wrote GST 101 by 7 a.m. We wrote GST 105 by 11 a.m. I wrote GST 107 by 2 p.m.
How best you want to
on the same day.
They want people to carry over now.
It was so funny. It was only God that helped me. The only God that helped me that I got 2 C's and 1 A in those 3 GST.
In your own case, but some of the people will carry over.
Many carry over, especially GST 105. That GST 105, a lot of people carried it over. A lot of people. That GST 105 because it's very technical.
Very technical.
You know?
Okay.
So you guys are lucky, sir. But I wish you guys all the best.
I'm going to write the GST 102 and 107.
Me is 102 and 104.
You are not going to write 101. I mean, 101 is for the first semester of 111.
They make us I wrote it last semester.
You wrote 101.
Yeah, I think I've been writing 2 or 3 every week.
They make us in our center to write last semester.
Must you write 101 again?
101. I wrote.
They make us to do that.
Should be enough because 101 is the introductory part of English.
They make us to write all the GST.
And 102 is the continuation.
We must do it.
2 is it? We did that.
I think 2 is what they call it.
And culture.
Yes. That is 2. That is 202. But they don't ask people to write 203, Abi.
No.
I'm writing 203.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What that?
Okay. About 103 in code, did they ask you to write 103?
Yes, we read. Yes, last semester I did.
Introduction to computer science, have you?
Yes,
wrote-
we did. We wrote it.
Yeah,
Yes.
so 103, 105,
105, we did all.
107.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I wrote 107 last semester.
Even 107, even masters, they write 107. Their own is 7, they call their own 707.
Okay.
Yes, their own is 707. That is introduction to library. The library.
Okay. We are going to do all the.
We have gone to school before. We are just coming back to do again. They our previous schools. Eh?
No, don't mind them.
And a lot of